Welcome in. I am the Crypto Bull God, and this is all in the charts. Today, what we're mainly going to focus on is why I believe there's going to be a little bit of a dip before a large rip. If you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment, hit the bell icon for notifications to know when I go live. I try to put time frames or times out there when I'm going to go to live, but those things shift around, right? This is real life, and I can't get out sometimes exactly when I initially planned. So make sure to hit that bell icon to know when I go live. Glad to see Kevin here. What's up, brother? Brian, welcome in. So one thing I just wanted to say at the top of the stream here, and I'll reiterate at some point during the live stream, as we get closer to the end, that's when I'd like to take any charts that you'd like me to do during the live TA Q&A. If you do it more towards the top of the stream like this, I might lose track of some of the tokens that you'd like me to take a look at. So just kind of keep that in mind moving forward. Pretty good day today. No complaints. Weather was kind of like poopy, but good day at work. Good day all around. Yesterday I was feeling sick. I actually woke up. You know when you have a fever, you wake up and your body temperature isn't right. You know, woke up cold and everything, and my throat was sore. But must have gotten a lot of sleep last night. I'm feeling much better this morning. So still feel a little tired out of it, but much better than I was yesterday. So just a little cold, I guess. By the way, you can follow me on Twitter. You can find me on YouTube. You can follow me on, find me on Instagram and even TradingView, one word. It's right here, Crypto Bull God. Make sure to look for the check mark. Also make sure to check that there aren't any underscores or anything, funny like that. There's a lot of people out there that like to mimic accounts. Let's actually start off with the S&P. Now, I actually just tweeted something out. And again, for all those who are new to the channel, it's very important to keep in mind, despite what some people might say, that doesn't sound like fun, Kevin, at 37 degrees. I had enough of that when I was in Minnesota a couple weeks ago. Despite what some people may say, there's a positive correlation which exists between the stock market and the cryptocurrency market. So what does that actually mean? It means in general, as one is going up, the other is going up. As one is going down, the other is going down. Why is that? Crypto is a risk-on asset, okay? It's a risk-on asset. No one's going to want to touch crypto if the stock market is taking a shit or a nosedive, okay? But if it's a risk-on environment and people are putting their money into equities or stocks, they're very much going to be much more interested in playing some riskier bets in crypto. So now again, what I had tweeted out is that I believe by around April or May, we are going to punch up towards this 43.25 line. If you've been here for a while, you know I've been speaking on the S&P about 43.25 for a long time now, okay? We broke out of this downward resistance. We just covered this 2 days ago. When we broke out of the downwards resistance, we back tested it as support. Very common, nothing to be concerned about. We've since closed above the 21 exponential moving average, which is the blue line. Very bullish. I'm waiting now to take out ultimately this bounce high here, okay, and to come up to 43.25. Once we get a candle body that closes above 43.25, it's just a matter of time until we take out this lower high and ultimately our all-time high. Yes, I see the stock market making new highs this year. Again, I am very much in the minority that feels that the stock market is actually going to perform very well this year, okay? Again, I see an ensuing massive correction down the pipeline here, but not this year, okay? And that brings us to crypto. I am also in the small minority that believes that Bitcoin and the rest of the market is going to set new all-time highs this year, okay? This is something that I spoke to on a live stream back in October of last year, Bitcoin to $100,000 plus. In that video, what I spoke to was how that expanded flat correction within the Elliott wave, it threw me off. It definitely threw me off. The thing about that expanded flat correction is it's an A, B, C wave, okay? And that B the B in the correction wave, it actually went 5% higher, which is common for that wave. It went 5% higher than our all-time high. We hit 64, getting ready for all new highs, 100,000 plus, and then we started plummeting in value, and we had a massive, more than a year-long correction, right? Hindsight 2020, oftentimes in life, right? You look back, many things in life, hindsight 2020. You don't see things in the moment, but when time passes, you look back and you go, oh shit, didn't realize that then. I'm sure you can think about many times in your life that you've had things like that happen. But that's neither here nor there. So you can look back on it, see it's an expanded flat correction, waiting for that wave 5. Now, what do I mean by I expect a little bit of a dip in the market before a rip, okay? Let me explain to what I'm seeing in the charts. This is on the daily right now, okay? Now, as you know, anytime we constantly hit up against resistance, right? We're under this zone that I have spoken about right around 28.5 to 32,000. I think I rounded the figures and said 29 to 32,000. This is on the daily again. Every time we keep hitting up against that resistance, it does weaken. That is very true. But the other thing to keep in mind here, there's two things I want to point out to you. What do you see within this picture here? Okay, Patrick guy, glad to see you in here, brother. I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you in the live stream, brother. What do you notice on these candlesticks? Is there anything else that kind of sticks out to you? Let me share with you what I see. I see a lot of price wicks, okay? And what do these price wicks express beyond volatility? Well, what the price wicks to the upside represent is buyer exhaustion, okay? There's a lot of sellers up there. The price just doesn't have enough strength to get up there. So momentum's sort of running out. The other thing I'm looking at on the daily is this MACD has sort of flattened, but if it starts to curl down, if we get a negative cross here, look what has happened every single time we got a negative cross. Negative cross, a negative cross, a negative cross. Okay, correction, correction, correction. Again, I want to be very clear here. Just because I'm expecting some form of a dip here, that doesn't make me bearish. It's not what this is about. My view is we're going to continue to create these stair steps up, okay? Higher highs and higher lows, okay? Corrections are healthy. Corrections are normal, okay? There are healthy corrections and unhealthy corrections, okay? So while I am expecting a dip, and I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't not happen tomorrow. It wouldn't surprise me if it actually ends up happening next week and we start off April with a little bit of a correction, because a lot of people are expecting April to be a very positive month, as do I. So it wouldn't surprise me to start off the month maybe a little shaky, and then we continue to go up from there. Just keep in mind, I'm saying that I'm expecting a dip. The natural question to then ask is, where could you expect there to be a dip to? Where would you expect prices to bounce, right? Well, the first area, I would look at a few different time frames, okay? Again, I feel we're in a bullish impulse up, okay? So I am expecting healthy retracements down, and I view them, never financial advice on this channel, but I view them as healthy opportunities to buy back in and scale into your position and accumulate more, okay? So on the 12-hour chart, one of the things, this is looking very healthy, by the way. The 12-hour chart is looking very, very good. Let's take off the price indicators. Let's just focus on price action itself. What I love to see on this 12-hour, both these moving averages are moving up. That is extremely healthy to see, okay? So one point of reference that I would view as a buying opportunity on a dip would be the 200 simple moving average on the 12-hour, okay? Now, the value right now is 22,100, but this value, as you can see, is going to continue to increase, right? So, for example, last Friday, the value was at 21,400. Today, we're at 22,100, okay? So, in nearly a week, we've increased $700 to $800, right? So, keep an eye on the 200 simple moving average on the 12-hour. This is one area that if price really does come down and bounce as I expect, I would expect something around the 200 simple moving average to hold. If we also go to the daily chart, okay, same sort of thing. Look what happened last time. We bounced down, we hit the 200, and we moved up. So another area of price confluence. would be the 200 simple moving average on the daily chart, right? It's all about, and it's at 20,000, just over 20,000, 20,300. It's all about creating an opportunity for yourself where you can chart out ranges, price ranges on a chart. Because again, the thing I want to reiterate with volatile assets like this is that it's very hard to pick specific dollar amounts. It's in your best interest to create a range so that you get that variability and volatility in price and you can capture it, okay? So I also have it's also important to note I have a range here of support that is now support, price confluence, at 21,473, okay? So 21,000, we'll call it 500, all right? So right now we've evaluated 3 charts, and those 3 charts are telling us somewhere between 20,000 and 21,500, right? I want to point to you one more chart where I have spoken to a lot on, okay? Created a video just speaking to this one in particular. That is the 3-day chart and the 125 simple moving average. And again, how I came up with that moving average, I know this isn't a moving average that most technicians look at. Again, one of the things I attempt to do for myself and then share with you, I try to create unique views. What are some views that other people aren't looking at? So in this case, what I did is I said, well, there's 2 common moving averages people look at, the 50 and the 200. Okay, those are 2 very common moving averages. What's the average of those moving averages? What's the midpoint? 125 days. So let's look at a 125-day moving average and see how price responds with that. Well, the thing I pointed out is once we've had significant price action go below it, okay, below it, beer virus was sort of a V-shaped recovery, but still below it. Here, below it. Once we get a candle body close back above this green line, the 125, we typically, okay, in the past, all we can use is past data to make these inferences regarding today and moving forward. That's all we can do. But in the 3 times this has happened, you can see here we never touched it and we rode it all the way up. Here we never touched it and rode it all the way up. Here we had a little bit of a correction. I think it was a 6.7 correction below this moving average. So what that's telling me is another point of reference if you're looking to scale in on a pullback, use the 125-day moving average on the 3-day. Right now it is at $24,000, okay? This is another point of reference. Could we wick, and I tried to stress this on the video, could price come down here and wick below 24 and maybe go to 22.5 or 23, okay? 21, 22, 23, of course it could, okay? But what you want to watch for on this chart, the most important thing to watch for on this chart, if it's going to hang together and be 4 for 4, you want the candle body closes to be at or above this moving average. So we really have a few different reference points for you guys to scale in on any potential dip. Let's quick summarize. On the 12-hour, look to the 200 simple moving average. On the daily, look to the 200 simple moving average. I would also consider 21,500 as a level of support. And then I would also consider the 125-day moving average on the 3-day chart as another area of support, which is at around $24,000. So I hope you found that helpful. Again, I'm not going to come out here and give you one price when I think the most logical thing to do is to create a range, and then you can decide if we get a pullback, which I'm expecting a little bit, just a little healthy pullback. You can decide based on your risk tolerance level where you want to set your buy limit orders. Or if you're not that sophisticated, you know, where you just want to place a market buy order and buy, you can base that on your own personal decisions there. I didn't have too many other charts. There's going to be plenty of time, I think, today for Q&A. Let's actually, you know, something we could take a look at. We haven't taken a look at together in a while. Let's take a look at the altcoin market cap, total market cap. I haven't looked at this in a little while. Let's look at the price indicators. We see the RSI is moving up very healthy. We're at 48, very healthy level. It's not oversold. It's not overbought. It's just at a nice, healthy, neutral level. The MACD is curling up. This histogram, this is one of these other things you want to look for on the MACD. This histogram, what this is saying in layman's terms is momentum, buyer momentum is beginning to pick up in the market. We have some green dark histogram plot points here that are growing in size, which is good. This MACD still needs to get above this trigger line. The trigger line is at 0, so we are positive. The blue's above the orange, which you want to see, but we need to, excuse me, we need to get above this trigger line of 0 right here, okay? So we need this blue line to get all the way up here. Now, this is on a 2-week chart. That's what I have it on. And the stochastic RSI, as you can see, this stochastic RSI can be overbought for a little while. We're basically at 100. And this has a tendency to be overbought for a while, so I wouldn't pay too much attention to that for now. But here's the thing. Big picture perspective, we're sort of in this falling wedge here. This is really giving you perspective. Zoom out, guys. This is why it's important, in my opinion, not to day trade and allocate 95% or more of your portfolio towards an investment approach and just learn how to buy in at opportune times and just hold it for the longer term. If we were to come back in time to this point in time right here in 2019, okay, and you were anywhere in here and you got shooken out, okay, market cap, depending where you were buying in, was at around 50, 60, 70 billion dollars, okay? Let's go forward in time and see what happened. Wow. And we shot up to $1.5 trillion. Doesn't this look so small down here relative to up here? That is what comes with discipline, patience, and consistency with your investment strategy and sticking to your risk principles, okay? Sticking to whatever sort of strategy you have when it comes to risk tolerance levels. Right now, the same thing, in my opinion, is going on, guys. We've coiled up in here, okay? This is the price action that weeds most people out. Most people that get into this market, they don't know what they're doing. They heard about crypto from their ex-significant other, or they heard about crypto from a friend at work, or whatever the case is. They put their money in here. It's not going up. They don't know what's going on, and they get salty about it, and they're like, I'm taking my money out, right? So all we've done is consolidated in here. The blue circle represents the fact we have broken the downward resistance. Look at this. How many times have I pointed to this on this channel? You're going to notice a lot of commonalities in these charts over time. If you consistently tune into the channel, you will notice a lot of commonalities in these charts. When we broke out, look what we did. Back test as support, and we've continued to move up, okay? By the way, if you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. We can get those likes up. And make sure to hit the bell icon for notification. I'm going live every day except for the weekend, so make sure to know when I go live. Now, what would I expect from here? I think it is quite possible. Let's draw a little area of support here. If we do get a little bit of a drop, like I'm expecting, okay, a little bit of a drop. Oop, it's got to be green. Kelly green. Everybody see the Philadelphia Eagles are going to be having the Kelly green jerseys come back. I'm excited about that. The ones from the 90s. I'm excited. I might actually get myself a jersey. Not a jersey. I think I might get myself a hat or something like that. Something to celebrate. Anyway, there's an area of support right around 535 billion. So if we get some sort of a correction, really what does that mean for us? In the altcoin market cap in general, and I'll communicate to you in layman's terms what this means. We could see a bounce down of 10 to 11%. What does that actually mean? That means on average for all of your altcoins, in this next week or two, next several days, maybe we see like a 10% drop in prices. Very possible, very possible. But I wouldn't expect candlesticks to close much below this region here, okay? I could draw another area of support here, but I'll keep it at around here, okay? Now, if we do get a drop and we come back down here, I'm fully expecting to come up here and test this range around 607 to 702 billion. This looks very healthy to me. And what you want to ideally see on this chart is consistent with what you want to see in any other chart that is in what I believe a bullish impulse and clearly a turnaround in the chart from bearish price action to bullish price action. you want to see those stair steps, the higher highs and higher lows. The other thing to keep in mind is you want to take out these lower highs, right? And ultimately your highest high to create a new all-time high. That's simplistically what you want to look for. There's two other charts I'm going to jump to. If you guys in the chat here, if you want to share with me anything you'd like me to chart, I have plenty of time here. Today's charts that I wanted to cover with you guys, not as many charts as before. I think for tomorrow's the last day of the month. I'll try to put a little bit more thought into what charts I want to cover for sort of month end, because it is a month end view of things. I should have a little bit more time tomorrow. I should have the afternoon free. Hopefully I should have the afternoon free. So put a little bit more thought into some of the monthly views that we want to take a look at here. But let me cover two charts. I'm going to hand it over to you guys, and we can take a look at some of these charts here. Joe, what is that? Are you messing with me there, Brian? I have never heard of that ticker symbol. Joe, is that like Jones Soda? Anybody remember Jones Soda? Remember that? This is UMA. Now, this is one that is taking longer than I expected to see a breakout. This is something I've been tweeting about for probably like 4 months, okay? And it's taking longer to have the breakout than I'm expecting. But one of the things that I wanted to point out here, and I'm still in this swing trade position, we have a rounding. You see the rounding bottom in the RSI. This is on the 2-day. It's sort of a rounding bottom. I also see a rounding bottom on the price data. This entire yellow box is what I'm targeting. I would expect a significant amount of resistance right up in this area. Whoa, sorry. I would expect a significant amount of resistance right up in this area, because there's an area of price confluence around 450, and there's also this descending resistance that we need to break above. There's also a fib retracement level, the 0.382, that a lot of altcoins have been bouncing to. I think right up in this $5 region at like 540. So I think in the $4 to $5 range, we're going to see some heavy resistance. But keep an eye on UMA. This one I'm still remaining patient with, and still expecting a break to the upside. Less sniffles today. You are correct. You missed the Frankie Legend. You missed the beginning of the show. I said I'm feeling a lot better today. So one more chart, and then I'm going to take your TA questions here. This is the graph. So full disclosure, I entered a pretty sizable position in the graph, and I'm expecting this thing to have a significant break to the upside. As you can see, we've cleared multiple, I don't need to point to everything, but we've cleared multiple areas of downward resistance here, right? This is the next major area of downward resistance we need to clear. I have 35 cents in orange because that's my first major area of resistance that I'm looking for on the graph. I think once we start to bounce above here, break resistance, and get up to 35 cents, I think we're going to have a little bit of difficulty initially clearing that. Once we do clear it, though, I think 56 and 80 cents are on the horizon. Once we start to get above 80 cents to psychological level of $1, I think it's going to get very interesting, and in terms of how long it'll take until we start pushing up against our prior all-time high at $3. That's the graph ticker symbol GRT. I'm glad, Neffy. Good question on Mask. Full disclosure, wish I would have stayed in that position. That was something I didn't even have a large position in it, but I had a large position in Mask, and I got out of it, and it went up tremendously in value. So that's one of those ones I wish I would have held on to. All right, but that was not in my investment portfolio. That was in my trading portfolio. All right, so got a few questions coming in here. Kevin, were those questions for me? Luna Classic, you don't really want me to chart Luna Classic, do you? Really? Please tell me you don't want me to chart Luna Classic. How about this? I will chart Phantom, because I'm going to pretend you didn't ask me to chart Luna Classic. All right. FTM. Oh, I don't even have that. All right. You can see what I was charting out last time. What exchange should I use? Use Bitstamp. I want to get more price data than that. Binance, here we go. Perfect. Wow, look at this. This is looking sexy to me. This is all the sexiness I have going on in my life at the moment. So this is on the weekly view. The RSI's at a really good, again, 53 on the RSI's at a very healthy level. If we're taking a look at the stochastic RSI, we just got a positive cross, 60 above 57. You see that? That's very good to see. The MACD looks very good. We're starting to lose a little bit of momentum. We're above our trigger line at 0. And this is on the weekly. By the way, higher time frame like this to see this much bullish momentum, very good to see. Much more conviction behind what I'm seeing here on a weekly versus a daily. So let's just focus on the weekly. What would I like to see? Well, first off, I think we already know this, but as you can see, I don't even need to draw that. Let's look at our first area of downward resistance we need to break here. Okay, so we sort of have this downward area of resistance we want to break through. Where have we created support? I would say right around there at about 38. I like rounding these numbers and making this simple because, again, there's just so much volatility. Someone might draw this at 38.5 cents. Someone might draw this at 39 cents. Guess what? I'm doing 39 cents. So we have an area of support around 39 cents. If that doesn't hold, let's draw another range here. I could see another range right there. So we really have support. In my opinion, we have strong support. There's another area here, but I'm not going to draw it. We have a strong support between around 35 and 39 cents, okay? It's all about clearing this downward resistance and clearing out above this prior bounce high, right? This prior bounce high was at 65, basically 65.5 cents. Actually, it is 65.5 cents. So we want to get above this dark red line. So essentially, here's the story that I would create for Phantom. If we do have a decline in price, let's hold around 35 to 39. Let's break out above descending resistance. Once we do, we might backtest it. But then let's break above 65.5 because this is the prior bounce high, right? We want to break above 65.5, hold it as support. Hold this area as support. This looks like a kindergarten drawing. Hold it as support. So then the question is, okay, we get above 65.5 cents. Well, this is obvious. Where can we expect more resistance? That's clear as day. I love this chart because it's so clean. This is a very clean chart. There's another area of resistance around 94 cents. Now, 94 cents is very close to $1. Anytime you have areas of price confluence around those psychological levels, that psychological level is going to be even stronger in value. So stronger in terms of trying to get above it. So really, there's a range, and it looks like there's another. I like this right here. I'll draw it up even further, maybe right around there. So there's really, once we break 65.5 cents and we hold it as support, there's really a range between 94 cents and $1.18. That's really what we'd want to focus on next, getting above. Once we clear $1.18, shit's going to get fun on Phantom. So good question, Kevin. Appreciate that. I'm glad you asked the question. This is a really healthy, strong-looking chart. Joe. Yeah, I don't know what. We'll see if you're. Wow, this is a real project. Okay. I haven't heard of this one. What the hell is this? What is Joe? Guys, I gotta look with you. I'm just real curious. No one's brought up a project before that. There is a coin, by the way, CBG. I forget what it is, but there is a CBG coin. This is ranked 154, and I don't know about Trader. Oh, no, I've heard of this. I've heard of this. I don't know what it is, but I've heard of this project before. Okay. So I'm not familiar with it, but I have heard of it. Brian, so thank you for the question. I thought you were joking with me at first. Not a lot of price data here. I felt like this was out longer than this. Nah, this has been no, maybe not. Man. Really? Okay, well, that's all we got. So not a lot of price data here, so I'm going to go on the 3-day. Wow, huge. I see why you're asking the question. Let's look at Brian, be careful, or everyone be careful when you get a major pump like this not to buy into the FOMO. Price. Okay, so let's look at the RSI, okay? One of the things I would look at to determine if things are getting overheated on a chart is the relative strength index. This is at 83. Could the RSI stay at 83 and continue going up? Sure. Could the RSI begin to develop a bearish divergence and go down in value as price is going up? Sure. Clear sign that you might want to get out because price is going to decline. But could the RSI increase towards 99? Sure. But when it's at 83, a level of 83, it's overheated, okay? So I would be very cautious here. Stochastic RSI is also topped out. MACD is looking good. But this sharp of an I've seen too many of these. This sharp of an incline generally leads to some form of a pullback. Not saying it'll be unhealthy, but some form of a pullback. So let's take a look at what is logical here. This is what I will start with. Where might this thing pull back to? I think there is a range I would look for here. Okay, we got 39 cents. And something like this is very volatile, so I'm going to create a wide range on purpose. Yeah, 32. Okay, so if we have a pullback, like I would suspect at some point we're definitely going to, what I would first primarily target is coming back down to this range and creating support between 39 to 32 cents and then continuing up. Now, if we keep going, no reason we can't go higher. Certainly things can remain overheated for a while. The first obvious area that I would look for is us clearing, yeah, it's like 80 cents, okay? 80 to, I want to give you a range, 80 to 96 cents, okay? So Brian, what I would be focused on, this is a lot of, the reason we had such a blue sky breakout here, I want everyone to understand this. Look at this, okay? We had a drop off in price in this zone. There was no structure created in here. No price structure was created in this zone. So once we actually broke out above this area here, where there was some price confluence, we just fucking went balls to the wall, okay? That's what I see in the chart. Now, you really got to be careful with this. There's no reason that Joe couldn't go all the way up to 80 cents to 96 cents. But, you know, if I was trading this, I would not count on it going up to 80 to 96 cents, okay? What I think is more likely, and I'll even draw a third zone here because I see all these wicks, I could see us coming all the way down to between 43 cents and 32 cents. And more than likely, though, because those are just price wicks. Candle bodies, this is an important point for you guys to understand. Candle bodies on a chart represent more stability, okay? Stability has been the word of the week for me personally here. I won't go into details there. But candle bodies provide more support, okay? More support when price comes down versus like these candle wicks, okay? There's just not as much stability there. They're unstable, okay? So the 43 cents I wouldn't view as much as an area of support. I would more so zone in on this 39 to 32 cent area, this area here, okay? That's what I would hone in on. I hope you found that helpful, Brian. What's up, DFB? H Barbarian's in the fucking house. Let's see. I can do one or two more charts. I'm going to do 2 more charts, and if I don't get to your question, I apologize. Tune in tomorrow. I'll be live streaming again tomorrow. I don't have anything better to do on a Friday after work than live stream. So, actually, I do want to go out tomorrow, but I'm going to live stream first. So, let's get to mask. Someone had a question on mask. Who was that? Neffy. Oh, Neffy had a question on mask. Yeah, this is one, like I said, I had a small position in. I wish I would have kept. Because it ended up escalating in value. You can see I've been taking a look at it recently. I actually charted this out recently. So the main area that you really wanted to get above and stay above for mask was this about $3.50. Well, we clearly accomplished that. I mean, we had a meteoric rise from $1 up to $6 and have since consolidated up in this area. So it's very bullish. Now, what you want to see, the first thing I would look for on this chart, now that we're up here, let's maintain this 350. I do not want prices to start dipping below the 350, okay? Let's stay around this 350 area. But you can see there's a lot of resistance coming up. I have a lot of major areas of resistance. $7.50, $8.30, $10, $14.50, $19.65, $22. So this is the first zone, okay? Once we create support in this region, we're going to create support in this region. The next challenge area will be between $7.50 and $10, okay? This is how quickly crypto can move. If you were buying in here at $1, $1.50, you literally saw your investment do a 4 to 5x in 2 weeks. I mean, that's crazy. That is very crazy. Thank you for the question. Rose. Do I have a chart on that one? I'm trying to think if I have a... No, I don't. Shit. All right, we'll go to the blank chart. Rose. I know I've read about this project. It's just, does this have something to do with real estate, or... I feel like it has something to do with real estate, but I could be off here. This has a decent amount of price data. I'm going to go to the weekly, actually. Let's go on the price indicators. Okay, MACD. MACD is getting closer and closer towards this trigger line. This is the trigger line 0 here. Okay, we're positive. We're getting closer and closer to breaking above. Some of the momentum's starting to die down, but this could pick up. Good to see on the stochastic RSI, we have a positive cross. 64 is above the 62. RSI is at that healthy neutral level, 47, 48. Good to see. But let's focus on the price data because price action is king, okay? So what do I see in Rose? Well, first thing that sticks out to me personally is this descending area of resistance, okay? We need to get above here, okay? And again, typically what price action likes to do in a bullish environment is once we break back above, don't be surprised to back test and maybe wick below. It's called volatility, and then continue moving up. Okay, so that's step one. That's really what I'd like to see. But let's speak to specific price action or price points that we want to see hold as support, and then will give us a problem from a resistance standpoint. So an area of support right around there, an area of support right around, yeah, right around there. So, and we're actually touching on that. So I have an area of support between 4.7 cents and 5.3 cents. I'd like to see this zone hold, okay? With candle body closes. Could price do one of these things and wick and come back up? Of course it could. But I want to see candle body closes maintain itself in this zone. Now, what about areas of resistance? I think there's a few obvious ones. There's an obvious one right there. As always, these are general areas of resistance. I'm not going to get too cute, just so you can get the idea. Chart looks like it may want to turn around with the rest of the market. We just have to, well, it's going to, I mean, as long as the rest of the market's going to pick up, like I'm under the assumption, educated hypothesis of, then yes, this chart's going to turn around. These are the areas of major resistance that I would watch for. I guess I don't want to get too cute. So this is the story that I would tell about this chart. Okay, this is the story if you're invested in this, or you're looking to buy more or scale out of a trade or something like that, this is how I would pitch it to you. If we come down, I don't care if we wick below 4.7 cents. I want to see candle bodies maintain themselves above 4.7 cents. This is a likely reaccumulation zone in here. I want to see us come up to the descending resistance. We might get rejected from this line at about 8 cents. 8.1 cents is an area of resistance. It's okay. We can come back down here and back test this. We come up. I want to break this swing high right here. I want to break this right here at 11.8 cents. Once we break 11.8 cents, it's all about, we're going to call it 15 cents. Let's clear 15 cents. Once we clear 15 cents with a candle body close, come back to the channel, we'll revisit the chart, and let's have a conversation about what's going on, because things will be much more bullish at that point. We are at time. Again, I'm trying to keep these live streams to a certain time. I appreciate it. I see there's more questions coming in. Make sure to tune in every single weekday. I will be here around the same time, 5:30, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I am in here in the beautiful sunshine state of Florida, and I plan to do this every weekday. So if you appreciate the content, make sure to share it with at least one person. Hit the thumbs up, drop me a comment, click that bell icon for notification. And until next time, spread awareness and carry the education forward. Thanks for the engagement, everyone. I appreciate it. Take care.